different student unions. We want to address issues concerning the culture that is being done to students. So I will introduce myself first, and you introduce into class, and give the press statement. So I am Champakanyan from UZ. I'm studying engineering. I'm a member of the course, not from the student.
My name is Wakati. I am from Scotland, and I am a member of that.
Hi, Diana Mafumo from University of Zimbabwe, studying political science. I'm a member of the course. I'm Precious Chikoro. I'm doing political science, member of the lab.
I'm Kumbra Mchengu, media student at University. Thank you, members of the media, for attending our press conference. We're a group of students affiliated to various student bodies in Zimbabwe, like ZINASU and SlyMedia. We gather today in unity, beyond political affiliations, with information about third forces that have hijacked student activism in our country. We are convinced that this information will go a long way in enlightening our fellow students in Zimbabwe and even abroad, as well as all stakeholders at large. Without wasting much time, let it be known that the United States of America has also roped in student activists in a bid to destabilize the peace in our country. We would like to share this information based from an encounter that one of us here has had with the American Embassy. Let it be known that there is a student desk from which people like Charles Magongera and Sizani Weza are Zimbabweans employed by U.S. Embassy to coordinate programs, together with some black foreigners whom you can't even suspect that they are foreigners. At one point, some of us from opposition-backed student bodies were invited to the embassy and given a mission to stage a series of demonstrations that are meant to provoke the security forces to react and result in clashes that will paint Zimbabwe as an unstable nation and which is in deep crisis. In return for this, we have been promised visas to travel to America and scholarships like Dr. Mapumbei. This is the reason why people like Gadziore, the ZINASU president, are so concerned with staging petty and dramatic demonstrations that are not even aimed at promoting students' welfare. However, after introspection, we realized that by agreeing to these shenanigan plans, we are betraying our students and nation at large. We also realized that if we are to be accorded scholarships to study in the USA, what would become of us after completing our study? Being in exile over great issues is something that we are not prepared for. We also realized that we are moving away from genuine issues affecting students and chasing after selfish regime change agendas. We also noted with concern that people like Gadziore are being remotely controlled by senior activists. We are concerned that this is a ploy to prevent the production of capable leadership of students who will graduate into national leaders. You will need to know that the recent actions Gadziore are not expected from a student leader and an intellectual. After being warned by the court that he wouldn't be near the Impala premises within the range of 100 meters, he goes for 105 meters, an irrational act, and a clear sign that he is being remote controlled. One of us here is a classmate of Mcheiwa. and indicates that the students, they are so devastated at the manner at which Ngaziore is riding or their classmates' predicament to achieve his personal and selfish political agendas. For example, if Ngaziore is indeed concerned with what happened in Cheiwa, why not give the police and courts the time and space to achieve justice and the truth of what happened? It is clear that Ngaziore's irrational acts are only meant at diverting the attention of the matter and at hand and disrupting the processes of investigating about what exactly happened to Mcheiwa. This leaves suspicion that Ngaziore actually knows what happened to the extent that he irrationally keeps provoking the authorities to divert attention from the reality of the matter. Also, why would he make his demands for Impala to release information about their car being allegedly being involved in the alleged abduction if he is very much aware of the police and courts are handling the case and any information is exclusive to the relevant authorities? Perhaps that's why residents around Bayside had to chase him away from their neighborhood to promote peace. We will not stop to enlighten our fellow students and about students that are misrepresenting them for their selfish needs, as well as to free our country's student bodies from third forces hijacking the noble cause of students. We will stop at nothing to protect students from being tainted as hooligans, to the extent that companies may end up not accepting us for attachments and even employment after graduation. We are saddened by the manner in which our students are being used to make political scores. They are being exposed, they are being sacrificed, and they are being used as pawns while kings and queens are at home. So we are calling for students to respect the law and to focus more on representing student issues and not national issues. We are yet to grow, and we will reach a time that we will be able to tackle national issues, but at this point in time, we are representing student issues. There is a time for everything, and this time around, it's time to represent student affairs, not national affairs. A time shall come when we shall be representing those concerned. That is why there is leadership in this country that is representing those people who are elected through a due process. So we call our students and young people at large to respect the law, to show obedience, to be obedient to the law. It rather shows that us as a student, as young people, we are not being respectful even to our parents, because the nation is our parents. The state is in the position of it's more like our national parent. But now, it shows us even at home, we are not respecting our parents if we are not respecting the law. So I call upon our young people to respect the law and respect elders. And as young people, we're also guilty. If we look what happens these days on social media, elderly people, you see us young people, we are using toxic language even to elderly people who are even older than our grandparents, but we use toxic language, violent speech. This violent speech that is turning around into actual violence. So I'm calling for our young people to use social media respectfully, and I think as young people, as students from different student bodies, we need to come to be collective, to have one agenda. Let's put our heads in one basket and try to find common ground in making this nation a success. The students are architects of this country's destiny.
Thank you. If there are any questions, you are free to ask questions and we'll answer.
Yes. Robert from SlyMedia. I just want to find out when you invited by the staff from the American Embassy, why were you quiet and coming out now? Were you invited yesterday? When and why were you quiet and why have you decided to come out and open now?
Being invited to the for America, invited in America, it doesn't help us well because since we are not politicians, we are students, we are still learning and we are yet to develop. Our issue here is kuti tusema students chingotisiyayo avanhu vakatikecha chingotisiyayo tingoita zvechikoro tingoita zvemastudents at our level, then we will come after tapedza chikoro taivadevelop, we will come to national issues. I think noskamauto kune vanhu vari kuembassy vanasizana vari kufuela capturing yemastudents. Zvati kuramba because zviri kuzotikonzeresera mastudents. Ndokunga we saw Gadzori achinzi yed a bed encounter nevanhu veGrayside. Zviri kuzotikwadzisa isusu mastudents.
Ndinowirirana nemi baba. Mubvunzo wangu uri kuti pamakashedzwa nasizana pekutanga hamuna kubuda pachena kuti ndozvatiri kushedzerwa tashedzerwa musangano.
We are not politicians, we are students.
Sorry, can I answer you? Well, we came out now because we now know. Personally, I had an encounter, but then I couldn't say anything then. But then now I can say I have everything. So if they say they don't know anything about this, let them say and then we expose everything.
Anyone has any questions? If we don't, thank you all for coming. See you later again next time.